Hi, my name is Bob Rice. I've lived in Lilac Cottage since 1993, so that's 25 years here, and we've had a glorious, happy, interesting time. It was built actually about 1874 as a coach house, a barn, for Sir Richard Cartwright, who had a place just down the road here. When we took over, it had been turned into a home by a Kingston professor. Glenn Shortlift was offered a job in the States in 1950 at a university in St. Louis, and he accepted, resigned from Queens, picked up his family, and got him all set to move to the United States when he was told that he was not welcome there. In any case, he came back to Canada. He went to Henry Cartwright and said, "I don't have a house anymore. Where can you got any ideas where I might live?" And he said, "Why don't you try the barn?" He got to work, he built the fireplace, he put in heating, he changed the walls, he did a lot of things to make the place more livable. And he stayed here with his family for some time. Then after he left, 4 other professors took over, or bought the house, and lived here. And they added on different things. Each person really added on something different, so that this house has grown like topsy. Well, what I did when we took over, they say, I wanted to be a gardener, so I took a 2-year course at the University of Guelph and I became a master gardener. And one of the big things I wanted to do was to put in a pond, which I did. Behind me is the main pond. There are fish in there, and the fish survive the winter all the time. There's a little brook that runs all the way up here to the top to an upper pond. And we have a pump that circulates the water up to the top. It comes down this brook and there, and it gurgles all summer long. It's a lovely sound in terms of living in the countryside. In the back, we had a lovely setting, but I thought it would be a great place to build a Zen deck. And so I built what I considered to be a Zen deck, a place of meditation, a place of quiet, just contemplation, and a place where you could enjoy the trees and the changing seasons. I also built a barn, a shed for the tractor, another place for all my gardening tools. When a new sewage system was installed linking Kingston with Ravenscourt, the pipeline came just through the corner of our property here, and as a result we were hooked up to city sewage. We were also hooked up to city water. So unlike any other place on Cartwright Point, we have city water. Most people have got a well. We have city sewage. Most people have got a septic system. And we also have natural gas. We were the first to get that. Our house was on the Music Lovers House Tour. It was to raise money for the Kingston Symphony. One lady came here, and this is about more than 15 years ago. She came here and she fell in love with our place, and she looked at a little room where we had a prie-dieu, because it was a room we were saving for a friend of ours who was a nun. And this lady, when she heard that we might be moving, said, "Do you still have the prie-dieu?" And we did, and I took it to her a couple of days ago, and she was just thrilled. In return, she agreed to include us in her prayers. The lifestyle of Cartwright Point is very, very easygoing and community-minded. As a community, we get together and we hire a snowplow to do the roads in the wintertime and keep them clear of snow. And we pay our share of it on that. We also have down 500 yards from here at the St. Lawrence River. And we, with all our neighbors around here, own a piece of property down there. We have a sandy beach, we've built a wharf. It's a lovely spot, and our kids come here and our grandchildren come here, and they love jumping off the wharf into the water. They loved taking a kayak and paddling down the river. Our house and garden really is well known to many Kingstonians. It's been on several of the Kingston Horticultural Society garden tours, and people have come here and walked around and enjoyed the ambiance. We've also been on the Music Lovers House Tour, and that raised money for the Kingston Symphony. There were about 12 different homes in Kingston area. The year we were in, they had, this is the barn for Cartwright House, or Cartwright's maples down here, and the two of them. And our house apparently was the star of the whole tour. People thoroughly enjoyed coming into what was an old cottage and turned into a rather charming place. We live in what I feel is a magic forest. The leaves change color in the late fall. I put out apples in the wintertime in the snow. I cut them up into pieces and throw them in the snow. And we'd have deer come and they'd find that and send out the word. And before you know it, we had 4 or 5 deer in our backyard looking in our kitchen window, because they were only 5 feet from the house, all nibbling on our apples, which is good fun. Oh, I think our living room. I think we have a fireplace, and I thoroughly enjoy it in the wintertime, and just not to heat it, but just to light it and have that fire blazing away in there. And it works beautifully too. There's no problem with that. We have all the flavor of a country home within 9 minutes of downtown Kingston, the city. You can walk downtown or you can drive down there very quickly. And it's not hard to make friends on Cartwright Point. You'll find that people will come up to you and introduce themselves to you and tell you where they live.